Forests are a central part of human development, have been for centuries, and should remain so for centuries. Forests are critical to dealing with the climate change problem. It is estimated that at least 12% of global man-made emissions are from deforestation. If you bring in complete land use change from agricultural forestry, you come up to at least 24% of global emissions. But in some regions, in many developing countries, the number is far higher. In Latin America, which has great forest wealth and natural resources, biodiversity, it's up to 49% of emissions can be attributed to deforestation and land use change. But it's not just important for mitigation, it's also important for adaptation. Forests deliver on everything. They deliver on livelihoods, food, water, wood. Many of the goods and services that our economies and societies depend on to come from forests. There has been a lot of progress already with so-called climate finance. At the bank, we've managed over $2.2 billion for what is called REDD, reduced emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, that has flowed to countries, particularly tropical forested countries, over the last years to help them reduce their deforestation rates through readiness programs, investments, and payment for results. I want to take this opportunity to thank very specially the governments of Germany, Norway, and the UK for their leadership and vision. Just a few days ago, they committed an additional $5 billion from here till 2020 to continue to support these efforts. So there are enormous opportunities for working in the forest sector. We can rebuild the carbon stocks, and we can work on restoration of degraded lands. It's estimated that there are over 2 billion hectares of degraded lands globally, where we can increase forest cover and that we can also use to deliver on the food security that we need. We must also continue to protect the approximately 15% of intact forests that remain. In order to achieve these very optimistic and very ambitious goals, we need to work in partnerships. Communities, forest-dependent peoples, indigenous peoples have proven to be extraordinary stewards of the world's forests. We must continue to support them to improve land tenure and governance so that their livelihoods and their mandate can be secured. We also have to work more, and we are working at the World Bank with private sector. Private sector has shown enormous leadership. Just last year, many companies, leading companies, signed off to zero deforestation value chains. We support that, and we're working on zero deforestation value chains in countries around the world. In Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, for example, with cocoa, in Ethiopia with coffee. In addition to this, the bank is also promoting what we call programmatic approaches, which is taking all these different sources of funding from, for example, the climate funds, the FCPF, the FIP, the REDD, and working with countries to identify what are their priorities, what are their needs, and how can we really take these different funding streams and have them come together to be blended and sequenced so that we can go to scale. There's two issues we have to tackle. One is the need to go to scale. The other is the need to really operate and deliver results on the ground quickly. We need to tackle the climate change equation. For this reason, the bank will be promoting the Forest Action Plan, through which we're calling for a new way of tackling forest and degradation. We're looking not just at preserving and conserving the world's forests, but promoting sustainable forest management and promoting opportunities in the sectors that drive deforestation, such as agriculture or energy or mining, so that we can work on cross-sectoral, multidisciplinary responses to increase forest cover and deliver triple wins that will enable communities and societies to thrive and prosper. As I said at the beginning, forests are a part of the human development equation, have been for many centuries, for many millennia, and should continue to remain to do so. That's our challenge, and that's our opportunity. The bank is ready to support our client countries with this.